to meet both of you. I watched the film on the weekend. Oh my goodness, I really loved it, and I got to tell you, like as a daughter of Jewish immigrants, I so related because it's not just about, it's about all immigrants. It really is a relatable story. So Mo, I wanted to start with you because I wanted to know, how you connected with the script, how you connected to Sharon and kind of made it a personal journey for yourself.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot just to start with that I feel really that I have in common with her. But I'd have to say the biggest thing is that I really relate to that identity struggle of not really knowing whether you're Persian enough or whether you're Canadian enough, and feeling like you don't really know where you fit in, and not really feeling like you're 100% accepted in either group,
Right.
and kind of learning to, I guess, accept these pluralities that exist in you, and that exist in all of us. And for a long time I thought it was just about Iranian Canadians dealing with that duality, but
Yeah, no
I
way.
yeah, I very soon realized that it's going to relate to anyone that doesn't feel 100% Canadian. And I think the beauty of this country is that not a lot of people really do. We
Yeah.
all come from a lot of really different places. And so that really resonated with me. And I knew that it would relate to other people and with other people. So fingers crossed that it keeps doing that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it will. And Sammy, for you, I mean, Body is a guy who he has a different relationship to Canada than Sharon does, of course, because he came over when he was older. She was born there, although
Yeah,
they share the same cultures, they're so different on so many levels. I was wondering for you, how not only just how you related to Body, but just, what you thought about what the struggles that he was going through in life.
yeah. I think I was about to say Sharon, like Mo said. Yeah, I think when I first actually got the breakdown of the character and the clear description of what it was, I felt that in terms of just personality wise, I knew that I had this kind of a connection with it that it it was just someone that was really really kind of wanted things in place. He kind of had a plan. He kind of had
Right.
like that this was kind of his personality, and everything he wanted to just kind of go by it. He had like go to med school, help the parents and all that stuff. And coming from immigrant family, it's relatable, right? I mean,
Sure.
you have uh, my parents all completely from an academic, solely academic background. So in that sense, it was very very relatable. And yeah, I think the whole piece where just kind of looking back at his home country and seeing what was happening there, and just the scene where he felt like guilty, as if like he when he's like enjoying time here, he felt guilty of that,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because he couldn't share that with his family members back in Iran. I think that
Yeah.
was a really strong point as well. um but yeah, it was interesting. And from the moment I basically read that breakdown, I had a good feeling. It was kind of I understand it. I understand the angle. So it,
Yeah.
it was great. It was great.
Yeah. And because they're so different, Mo, I mean, I wanted to know from your opinion, why do you think these two connected? First, there's always that little bit. It's a rom-com, yet there's
Yeah.
seriousness in but why do you think they connected so well? Didn't take that long for them to kind of, to realize that maybe they were right for each other.
Yeah, I think, I would say the same about all of my relationships, whether they're romantic or friendships. I think when you find someone that sort of makes up for the pieces of you that are missing, it's so magnetic. And when you meet someone who helps you discover yourself and fall in love with parts of you that you didn't know were there, I think
Right.
anyone would be attracted to that, even whether that's, romantically or not. Like, I think of a lot of my friendships, and that's why I love my friends. And so I think that's another thing that is just so relatable about sure, rom-coms, but this movie in particular is, you know, like there is a lot in both of their lives that they both deal with
Mm.
kind of on the inside that they don't love and that they have problems reconciling with who they actually are. And I think they both help each other be compassionate with themselves and learn to, if not love, be patient with themselves and find the beauty in themselves and their imperfections. And so I think their love story is really sweet and yeah, also incredibly relatable.
Yeah. Sammy, did you hit it off with Mo right away? I can see she's really hard to get along with.
It was brutal. It was very difficult, and it was just one of the
What a
hardest
diva.
things. I know. No, okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Honestly, like from the first day, we just so much laughter just throughout the entire
Yeah,
filming process. We had a lot of like inside jokes with each other and stuff. It just we make fun of little, quirks about, each other and stuff like that.
sure.
And I just felt that, that relationship alone just made, the filming process one really enjoyable. And kind of that authenticity between the relationship between two characters just kind of really came out between that natural relation that we had on set. So it was definitely a lot of fun, 100%.
Yeah. There are two scenes that really stood out for me are the family scenes. So, Mo,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. I want to get both of your opinions on these scenes, but she goes to meet his family and welcome with open arms, and she quizzing, asking the mom about her time back in Iran and when, I found that so fascinating. I didn't know really the history of when women had started to have to be covered up. And I just found that so fascinating, but more about they opened her, they welcomed her, like come on in and have more food. Da, da, da. It's like a Jewish family. Like I could so relate to that kind of thing, right? Okay,
Yeah.
and then that body goes to her house. Oh, not so much. Like the dad is really,
Yeah.
and that scene, man, like I actually gasped. I don't want to give it away if people haven't seen it because I gasped. Like, good on him for standing up to the dad, honestly, because it was like, oh, like, come on, really? Like, but
Yeah.
I get where the dad's coming from too. But what I'm getting at here is because maybe because he's Canadian, came over so many years before and has a different, viewpoint of how what's expected, as opposed to the family that's just new and they're opening everybody that the cultures. I just wanted to get your opinions on that because they were two very powerful scenes. So Mo, do you want to start on that?
Yeah, honestly, I can't thankfully relate to that reaction or perspective or point of view that Sharon's dad had. I think a lot of Iranians, if not, I would venture to say all Iranians are incredibly warm and incredibly hospitable. We love welcoming people into our homes.
Yeah.
We love meeting people. We love talking, getting to know other people, celebrating with new people. And so I think, honestly, Batty's parents were a more accurate representation of a lot of what I see. But I also do feel for where Sharon's dad is coming from. As a child of immigrants,
Mm-hmm.
I understand that pressure to be able to be there for your parents and be able to take advantage of the opportunities you've been given by
Right.
your parents making the decision to come here. And so as someone who understands that and who feels the pressure to do that, and I think a lot of children of immigrants do as well, I understand why her dad is so set on making sure that she has someone that maybe has that mindset
Right.
and is more fixated on it in a monetary way. I don't think it's right, but I can absolutely sympathize.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at the end of the day, he's a dad, and he just
Wants the
wants the
best. Yeah.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think that Batty's parents are a really good indication of what uh, all Iranian people are like, honestly.
Yeah. And Sammy, how about you? What was it like for you to do that scene? I mean, it's always fun to do those kind of cantankerous scenes anyways, but
I love those. It was
yeah.
definitely, yeah, a lot of fun. I think just I'm thinking of just really funny memories we had during that scene. We had a lot of laughs too, like despite its seriousness,
Sure.
and there's just a lot of laughter during that time. But I think, yeah, it's I think it's also like in addition to everything that Mo said, I keep wanting to say Sharon. I don't know why. Everything that she said,
I know who you're talking about.
it's there's also that I just feel there's also that bit of like that protectiveness of with like the daughter, right? As like any father, really, I feel that they'll be more protective and a little bit more critical, whoever
Right.
the guy is that comes over and wants to date the daughter and stuff. And I think naturally, like even like I can relate to that sense too. I have a younger sister, and
Mm.
just that whole process when she, got into a relationship, my dad was, let alone my dad, like me too. I was very, I
Yeah,
was
you're
very
weary. Yeah,
protective, yeah,
yeah,
because it's my younger sister, right? And
right.
so there's just that extra step there too. And but of course, that whole speaking of like financially and like being able to support and all these things, and especially the history that the character had, that Sharon's dad had
Yes.
growing up and everything, just I guess that just amplified his feeling and his desire to make sure that whoever comes into their life or his daughter's life is an individual that comes from, I guess, similar mindset, or just that financial, rock solid, or just someone they could trust. So
Of course.
Batty wasn't that
Yeah.
person, I guess, at
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
but
Well, he didn't give him a chance really, but I get it. I mean, I
yeah,
totally get it. Of course, every parent wants the best for their kids. There's no question about it.
yeah,
But
exactly.
this, yeah, very, very powerful scenes. So just to wrap it up, obviously this movie couldn't be more timely, especially with what's going on in Iran right now and protests and all that. So, Mo, how do you feel about, wanting people to see this film and, what would you like them to get from it?
I think the biggest thing that this film does for me, to me, is it puts Iranian people in a light that they've never been
Yeah.
in in media, whether it's
Mhm.
creative or nonfiction or what have you. It shows them in a positive light, being happy and celebrating life and going through things that we all go through, falling in love, breaking up, finding yourself, figuring
Mhm.
out what you want to do with your life. I think what's so beautiful about it to me is that I always knew this about Iranian people because I'm Iranian, so I see us as people. But what's beautiful is I think that it can let a lot of people in who maybe don't know a lot of Iranian people and don't know anything about the culture or the history, and it can give them a new perspective on us outside of what the media or news outlets decide to show. And I also think that for Iranian people right now, with what's going on in Iran and with what these amazing, brilliant, courageous women are doing, fighting this fight for basic human rights for women,
Mhm.
i
Yeah,
think I think Iranian people would like a little bit of light, and a movie that's just as simple as it being a rom-com, but it's just about us and all the lovely things about our culture. And so I hope people see it, and it makes people think, and open their minds,
Mhm.
uh, because I think it's really important, especially right now.
Yeah. Sammy, did you want to add anything to that?
I honestly, yeah, I mean, she nailed it really. I think it's just great to see that variation, right? That just lighter tone, and of course, the whole commentary on everything that's happening, and to showcase that, the support that we have, of course, for the people and their right to choose, and the
Yeah,
demonstrations that are happening, not only in Canada, but around the world, really, that just are, give people that insight as to, the type of things that are happening there, so that people are more aware. And
absolutely.
but yeah, it's very important, and yeah, it's great to see people that are, I guess just overall, I really want people to, enjoy the film, and the lightheartedness is also very important too. Just be able to sit back and just kind of laugh and enjoy as well. And
Yeah, I
just,
agree. I agree. Well, listen,
uh,
it's been a pleasure to talk to you both. I really appreciate your time today. Best of luck with the film and happy holidays to you both. Hope you have a good
Thank
one.
you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having me.
talking to us.
All right.
Okay. Oh, my pleasure.
Bye.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Take care,
All right.
guys. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.